All right, today we're jumping into something really cool called the Map of Conscience. Now, this isn't just a journey through New York City. Nope, it's a journey inside a single human mind. And the whole thing is built around one really big, fundamental question.
Yeah, what if the characters in a story weren't actually, well, people? What if they were all just different parts of a single mind? I mean, just imagine it. Your own internal dialogue, right? Your logic, your heart, your gut feeling, all playing out as separate characters on a global stage. That is the wild premise we're going to dig into today.
So, in this story, every single character is basically a different state of human consciousness. They are not separate people at all, but more like facets of one complete conscience. And together, they create what the story calls a map of conscience, this whole inner world that's about to get thrown into a very real, very external test.
Okay, so before they ever set foot in New York, these different parts of the mind all live together in a place they call our virtual and global neighborhood. You can kind of picture it like an online community or a forum, but its entire foundation is built on something superhuman: trust. The whole idea is that if you have that mutual trust, that's where love and respect can actually grow and flourish.
And right there, that's the central conflict of the whole story. You've got their world, which is all about trust and genuine conversation, and then you have New York City, a place that runs on speed, anonymity, and just massive, massive scale. It's a total clash of principles, right? A real test of everything they're built on.
So, who exactly are these characters trying to find their way in this new world? Let's meet the 5 core states of consciousness, the crew that makes up our inner compass for this whole trip. This is so cool. This is how the story literally breaks down a complete mind. First, you've got the uncle. He's measure, tranquility, kind of like the wise old conscience. Then there's the nephew, who's all about the search and the speed of our modern world. Roger, he's our universal reason. You know, the analyst thinking about ethics and algorithms. The aunt brings in that crucial balance of compassion and realism. And finally, the cousin is the synthesizer, the one connecting the dots between big ideas like cities, nature, and systems. Put them all together, and you've got a whole person.
So the moment they land in New York, it's amazing. We don't just see one city, we see 5. It's the exact same moment, the exact same airport terminal, but we see it filtered through each one of these completely different internal lenses. Let's start with the voice of reason. First up is Roger, our universal reason. He hears this super rushed landing announcement, and right away, he just boils down the city's entire vibe into one sharp thought. He sees all the motion, all the efficiency, but he's already questioning the point of it all. Like, is all this speed actually going anywhere meaningful?
Then, bam, the perspective shifts to the ant, the heart of our conscience. She's not focused on the city's mechanics at all. She's thinking about the human experience inside it. She feels how tiring the journey is, physically, but she also sees the incredible resilience of the human spirit, how the heart can endure so much.
And now for the cousin, our systems guy. He's looking at the endless streams of people and planes, and he starts to question what urban growth even means. To him, it's not about how big the city is or how many people are in it. It's about shared purpose. He's trying to figure out the underlying system that's driving all this massive, synchronized movement.
And then we get the uncle, the conscience, bringing his trademark sense of measure. He's just watching all the different faces in the passport line, and he sees right through the surface to something universal. He's thinking, we're all the same. But he also picks up on the subtle, different ways that a place like this can just wear you out. This one thought from the uncle, it's huge. It basically sets the stage for everything else that happens. It's really the core theme of their entire journey, that the fundamental truths of life are the same everywhere. But the environment, in this case the city, gives you a totally unique challenge. It's a specific test for your soul. And for them, New York, that's the test. Okay, so their journey now takes a turn. They go from the complete chaos of the airport to a place of quiet contemplation, a mosque. And it's here that the frantic, nonstop pace of the city comes face to face with something completely different. The second they step inside the mosque, it's like the rules of the world just change. It's not that speed is bad or forbidden or anything. It's just unnecessary. It's completely irrelevant here. All those values from the outside world, that relentless rush of the city, they have zero value in this space. It's a total mindset shift, a chance to just reset and recalibrate. And it's in this quiet space that they get hit with a central revelation of the whole story, right from the Imam's sermon.
This is the answer to a question they didn't even know they were asking. He asks, what is a true word? And it turns out it's not just a fact or a piece of info, it's a whole three-part process, a journey all on its own.
So here's the journey of a true word. First, it has to start with sincerity, right from the heart. Then it goes to the mind to be examined, weighed by our logic and reason. But, and this is the key part, it's not truly complete until it's been tested out there, in the real world, in life. The idea is, if a word can't survive contact with reality, well then it wasn't really true to begin with.
So as the sermon goes on, the imam points out that truth doesn't usually show up yelling and screaming. It often reveals itself in a quiet sentence, or sometimes just in silence. And in that exact moment, the cousin, our systems and communication guy, writes down just one single word in his notes: silence. It's like in the middle of all the noise of the modern world, he suddenly gets this powerful reminder of the meaning that's held inside of silence.
After the sermon, you can tell the characters feel this new weight. The uncle says that a true word is something you can't just leave behind, otherwise it becomes a burden. But then Roger, our voice of reason, he reframes it perfectly. He says, hey, a burden isn't always a bad thing. A truth that you consciously choose to carry with you, to actually live by, that's the very thing that gives your life meaning. So, when they finally step back out into the hustle and bustle of New York, they're different. They've changed. They now have a compass, this piece of profound wisdom to carry with them as their journey and their test continues. So let's break down the big takeaways here. First, the city is the ultimate test. Second, that true word they learned about, that's their compass. Third, the most important journey we ever take is the one that's happening internally. And finally, and maybe most importantly, meaning isn't something you just find somewhere. It's something you carry. It's a burden, yeah, but it's the burden that gives life its weight and its purpose. And that really leaves us with one final big question for you. The story's whole point is that truth is universal, but every single environment, every city, every job, every community presents its own unique challenge to living that truth. So think about it. What is the test of your city? What challenge does your world right now pose to your own map of conscience?